And welcome everyone to our book club number 2 for Voices of the 21st Century, Women Empowered Through Passion and Purpose. And I'm Laura Rubenstein. I'm so honored to be here with some of the authors of the book and also Gail Watson. Hi, Gail.
Hi, everyone. I'm really excited to be here. This is such a fun time. Voices of the 21st Century, Women Empowered Through Purpose and Passion and Purpose. Today we're here to meet the authors. This book is a collection of powerful stories from women from all over the world who have shared their passion and shared their purpose and how their message has emerged from their life experiences. This is an opportunity for you to ask the authors questions, get to know them more, and dive deeper into their stories. So we want to get to know each other, share insights and experiences that highlight the incredible power of women empowered through passion and purpose. So we do have, before we get started here, we want to do a really special shout out to one of our authors who couldn't attend today. She's gold medal Paralympian Carol Cook. So amazing. She has a super story in the book, and it's titled Harness Your Force to Find Your Gold Medal. So Carol, if you're listening right now, we are all thinking about you, sending you well wishes, and we want you to harness your force for the good. You've got this. Okay. So now I'd like to pass this off back to Laura Rubenstein, our host today, who shares a very special introduction to Voices of the 21st Century Women Empowered Through Passion and Purpose. So, Laura?
Thanks, Gail. So our foreword was written by Dr. Roberta Shaler, who passed away last month. She did get to do one final writing in her life. She has like 9 or 10 best-selling books, and but this was her seminal piece of writing that kind of summed up her work because her work was all about empowerment. And I wanted to read the first 2 paragraphs about empowerment and of the foreword. Empowered is not loud, brassy, or even obvious. It requires no marching bands, cymbal crashes, or drum rolls to announce its presence. It arises from within, sparked by a desire, need, or possibility. Empowered is resilient at the broken places, quietly growing in confidence that comes from believing in ourselves. It is us believing in our own value and vision, comparing it to no one, and with no need to ask permission. Empowered is leaving the past where it sits, refusing to live from any fears or limitations collected in earlier in life. It's having gratitude for the road that brought us here while learning from it to move forward more boldly with expanded vision. Empowered is quiet strength built from lifting the heavy things in life: disappointment, fear, loss, failure, diagnosis, rejection, and from others who may have been dedicated to keeping us small, afraid, or limited. It's what opens doors, windows, and sometimes even peepholes for a few of what is possible and available. It's when you say yes to yourself and choose differently. Just love how she embodied and captured all that empowered is. So we're really blessed to have her forward in here in her last words. May she rest in peace. So all of the authors are precious here, and I wanted to go around and thank you, first of all, authors, for being here so that we can do this book club and introduce yourselves and the name of your story. And I have a question for you. Who is an empowered woman that has inspired you? And feel free to comment on, it doesn't have to be someone who is famous, but who is someone that has inspired you? And maybe it's another author. So, Bridget, I thought I'd go over to you first to share your name, your title of your story, and the answer to the question.
Thank you, Laura. I'm Bridget Stills, and the name of my chapter was How I Got My Start in Property Management. And I'd say the woman that really inspired me to all of this and it got me going with women transforming the world in our first book would have to be Gail Watson. If it wasn't for her, I would not have been in the last two books. After having a conversation with Gail about 3 years ago, that's what motivated me and inspired me and got me going. And if we hadn't have had that conversation, this would not have transpired, and I would not be here today as I am.
Oh, fun. That's great. Thank you so much. And yeah, we're giving you hearts. So Marcia, how about you? What's your say your full name, your story, and who's an empowered woman that inspired you?
And thank you, Laura. I'm Marcia Lake, and my title of my chapter is called Perseverance and Tenacity, which is me to a T. The person, I've got two people, so I'm going to actually have two people that actually inspired me. First of all, Bridget, for introducing me to Women's Speakers Association, for starters, and just giving me the confidence to go forward. But then again, like Bridget, it was Gail who cemented that idea that I could do it, and here I am.
Yeah, it's what's beautiful about this book is it's an empowering process. And that's what I'm hearing from both of you when you had the opportunity to meet with Gail and to get to know her and to consider being an author. It was an inspiring and empowering moment in your life. So how beautiful. Adriana, would you like to go next?
Sure. Hi, I'm Adriana D'Agostino. I'm not in this book. I will be in the next one, and still a working title, but it's Health is Wealth, and it's my holistic health journey and to where I got to today. Who inspired me? Look, I know a lot of strong women that I really look up to, but when I had my conversation with Gail, she made me believe that I could do this, and made me believe that I do have a story. And in actual fact, I have several stories which I wasn't aware of. So that has been a true inspiration and empowerment for me. And then other people along the way has been like Bridget and Marcia, who have just been there, supporting and encouraging, and I can't thank them enough. Thank you.
Yeah, we have quite the sisterhood here of support and empowerment. And I love that you're going to be in the forthcoming book, and we can't wait to read your story. And you bring up an interesting point. I've heard people say, I'm not ready to share my story. And that's because I think they have one story. And I'm here to say you have many stories. Share the story you are ready to share. It helps you to get the momentum going, to feel your way through getting a story out. Do it with a story that's a little easier than maybe your signature story or the one big defining story that's a big one. So I wanted to encourage people to look for those stories like you have, Adriana, that there are multiples of them. And so I want to move over to Laura to share about the title of your chapter, your name, and who's an empowered woman that's inspired you.
Yeah. So hi everyone, I'm Laura Camphouse. Things have changed quite a lot from the last time I was on one of these Zooms. I'm very heavily pregnant at the moment, and I'm due in a couple of weeks. So my chapter is called Determination is Key. And I feel like that can be a factor for everyone. It doesn't matter what they're going through in life. As long as determination is key, you will be able to accomplish what it is that you're working towards. For me, a person who's really, really inspired me is my great aunt Martha. She's currently 94 years old, and she's just soldiering on every single day. Like, for her, she's just so determined. Each and every day she's got something in her calendar booked, even if it's just the dentist or car mechanic. She just keeps chugging along, and because of her determination, I feel like she's going to reach 100. So that's kind of what I base this chapter on as well.
How sweet. that you and how amazing that you have a 94-year-old role model in your life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think like the 90s are the new 60s or something for a lot of people of that age. At least I've noticed there's some really sprightly people that have so much wisdom and energy, and they're just so inspiring to us. So thank you for sharing about your aunt. And Liz, tell us your story title.
Hi there, I'm Liz Booth, and I'm also I'm in the next book coming. So I'm still a work in progress. My title is a little bit of a work in progress, but I'm thinking it's along the lines of Find You, Know You, Be You. Our book is all about being wise. So it's amazing. It's been amazing, actually. I had a lot of writer's block. And then one day I just sat down and it just started happening. It was really cool. I was in a cafe as well, and I was actually blubbering away because I was just pouring out all this stuff, and it was very therapeutic. It was fantastic. But that was sort of the breakthrough for me, breaking the ice. So it's an exciting journey. The women, there are two women who have empowered me. So there's a beautiful woman called Jane Thorpe, and I was having a lunch with her, and I mentioned that I would like to, get into public speaking and one day write a book. And she said, let me connect you with a woman called Bridget. So we connected, and then I had coffee with Bridget and just really poured out what I wanted to do. And she said, you can do that. So I don't think I've got a story. And she said, of course you've got a story. We all have a story. And so she was very supportive and encouraged me to really take the leap of faith, just step off the cliff and do it. So I'm very grateful.
For cheering you on, for sure. Now, Adriana, do you have a question for any of our authors here, since you guys are just jumping into the next book?
Yeah, sure. Marsha, as I said, like we've all probably got more than one story, and I'm sure you have as well. But what made you decide to choose the story that is in the book, and you decided that was the one that you were going to share?
Thanks, Adriana. It's a good question. I've been in business for nearly 42 years now, so I do have a lot of stories. It's just finding the right one. But this one came to me straight away because it was one that I had mentioned on my website of how I started in my business. And I'm proud of myself of how it started, and I just wanted to get it out and not just for myself. I want to give back to people that maybe are thinking about starting a business and are having negative feelings and haven't got any positive vibes going along. So I wanted to tell my story of how I did it, how I felt, and hopefully I can help them along the way. And also, being in the next book, I'm hoping to elaborate a little bit more to help people, because that's what I'm about, is helping people.
Wonderful.
And does anybody else want to answer that question? And then Gail, I'll go over to you. The question of what inspired you to write the story you did. Bridget or Laura?
I'm happy to participate. What inspired me to write my story? This is the second part, the second book in regards to starting my journey in real estate. Because of my experience in 1975, I had not been able to share it or talk to anyone about it until I met Gail. And I was talking to Gail about it. Gail's got this way about her that if you have anything that you want to talk about, you just pause out. So here am I, probably about 20 minutes later, telling her my life's journey. And she said, that's a great story. You got to write about that one. And I thought, oh no, I can't share this. I can't talk about this. And she said, yes, you can. That's a great story. You can write about it. And the more I thought about it, I actually started writing about it. And, then I just kept on going. And that's how it happened. And it's been in 2 books. It's a journey, and I'm sharing it. and it's a lesson, and it's been a challenge for me, and it's obviously challenge for women out in the industry as we speak. But it was something that made me feel so much better once I had actually finished the chapter, and it's out there.
And it makes me think, you know, these chapters are 1,000 words. So there's way more to the story than 1,000 words. And there you go. You have another chapter you can write in the next book and the next book, right? It's so cool.
Yes, that's true.
I just will share with you, I have a chapter in the book too, and it's called Your Joy Transforms the World. And I was inspired to write it by a plane flight that I was on, and one of the other passengers inspired me, and it was transformational and very joyous. So I encourage you to get the book to read it. So Gail, talk to us about who inspires you, because you've put this whole project together. We're going into our 8th volume of Voices of the 21st Century. So I'd love to know what inspired you to start this and who inspires you in general.
Oh, okay. Well, I also shared a story in here, and I took it from the position of, if I had one last message to leave on this planet, what would it be? And it was live and let live. That my father used to always say to me, basically, park the judgment on people, right? And where Voices of the 21st Century was born goes way back to when I was helping my son do a school project where he had to research women of the early 1900s. And what was very interesting was we found out what they did, but we didn't find out who they were. And in Women's Speakers Association, I've had the true privilege and honor to be able to meet hundreds and hundreds of women from all over, and each person is so phenomenal, and I just love them to death. I love hearing their stories. And so this book was developed as a platform for us everyday women who are out there. We're entrepreneurs, we're building our business. We're also mothers, soon to be mothers, Laura, and sisters, daughters, and there's a lot more to us, and we need our place in history so that people can actually get to know us. And one person that really, like out of a lot of women that I've been meeting recently, there's one woman who really shared her story one day, and she came across very strong and stoic and very business. And then she dove into the background of who she was and had this amazing transition in life. It's Bridget Stills, who's in this room. She has so much. What I admire about you, Bridget, so much, you are a trailblazer for women. You were one of the first women realtors in Sydney to just bushwhack us a trail for for us women to break through and be who we can. And your passion for women empowerment runs so much deeper than anyone. And I just really am grateful that you shared your story and that you stepped into it, because it's amazing and it is a big journey. We need to do a movie. So
It could totally be a movie. You know, each author has the potential for their story to turn into a movie. And wow, it could be like movies, little vignettes. That would be some project to do. That would be so cool. Okay, Gail. I love how you always have these new projects you're going to take on. I have a feeling a movie's in our future. That's so great. Any other questions the authors have for each other? There's a question that you'd like to answer or ask.
I have a question for the authors, if
Yeah.
I may. Just come to me. I would like to know if there was any, was there any transformation within you after sharing your story? What did it do for you?
And yeah.
I think for me, I think it gave me peace because it was something that I have had inside me for so many years. When we're talking about 40 years, I've been in real estate 44 years. So 44 years ago, this all happened to me over a period of 10 years. So you can imagine the built up that I had been carrying, and it's like a burden inside me that I didn't share with anyone. And I didn't really talk about it to anyone because nobody really wanted to know. Nobody really wants to listen to anything like that. And my father always said to me, you know, if you've got bad news or you've got something like that, don't share it, you know, don't talk about it. And so I've kept all this inside. And the only time I spoke about it actually was when I spoke to Gail about it. And then the transformation for me was, it was like enlightenment. It gave me a feeling of peace. It gave me a feeling of joy. It helped me grow, and it helped me feel better about it all. I can now talk about this, something that I had not spoken about for over 30 years. Not spoken about. And now I can talk about it. And when I do training for staff in regards to within my industry in property management, I can now share parts of my experience and not feel bad and not feel judgmental and not feel anything, but I feel good about what I'm talking about. So it's helped me heal. It's done wonders for me. Thank you, Gail.
That's so great, Bridget.
Oh,
Liz, did you want to comment on
Oh,
that as well?
I can feel the transformation. So just with what I'm writing now, it's like a discovery. Like, you know, it's there, but it's just it's acknowledging it, making it real. So for me, it's actually quite a beautiful experience. So probably things that, you know, I just parked them on the side for whatever reason, whether it just was confronting or I didn't think it was important enough. But it's sort of, for me, it's just that exploration. And I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and it is a transformation. So I think I'm excited for when I, you know, get to the end of it all. So I think initially I was a bit worried that it might be a bit like a Mills and Boon. You know, I was going a bit too deep, so I pulled back, and then I looked again. I was like, no, actually, that's important. It is important because, you know, it gives a baseline for the rest of everything. So so it's been so far a great journey. I'm loving it. Everyone should do it.
It is a transformational journey for sure.
That's such a change, Liz, after listening to you talk about this, because Liz has always said to me, I don't know what I'm going to write about. I don't know if this is right for me. And I must admit, I always said to her, this is right for you. You must do this because you know, you have a story. It's like we all have a story. We all have something that we need to share, but we have multiple stories. And as mine, over 2 books already, you know, so it's ongoing.
Thank you.
journey.
For me, oh, sorry. For me, I felt really like accomplished, like so proud of myself after the book came out. I just felt the sense of achievement, something that has been a dream, to become a co-author and to have accomplished that before the age of 30. But the big thing about it is I could never have done this alone. This is definitely a team effort. Together we achieve more. And I am so thankful that Bridget was the one who brought me on board, and you know, she taught me about Women Speakers Association and Voices of the 21st Century, and that's how I met Gail and Laura. And it's just been a really awesome team effort, women coming together and helping one another achieve their goals and their dreams.
Yes, yes, yes. It's
Yes.
it's really hard to express that, but you did that so beautifully. the sisterhood, the community that's created through the journey that we take the authors and we invite the authors on. And I just love that we can come together in this book club and discuss the book, discuss the process. And, really, we keep you all authors front and center to the world, because I want to invite those of you who are watching to get a copy of the book. And if one of these authors inspired you, connect with them, buy the book from them. They'll sign it for you. And so each of you authors, I'm going to invite you to put your link to where people can contact you in the Facebook page, a post of this live stream. And so people can reach out to you. It's just amazing that we have these books. And you can also go to voicesofthe21stcenturybook.com, click on the different authors there, and there's a way to connect with them as well on their websites. So yeah, Gail, did you want to say
And
something?
well, I just wanted to say also, each one of these authors and some that who aren't here are all very willing to present to your book clubs. If they are in your local area, they're available. Reach out to them. They're amazing. They go much deeper than we can get into here. But I was just feeling really inspired right now, just listening to you, Laura, just for a second there. I mean, you're going to be a mama in 2 weeks. And I'm just thinking about how we as women are really progressing in terms of, we keep our stories, we're raised with, hey, keep that negative stuff at the door, don't bring it into something, and keep that professional face and all that kind of things. And I just think about your new little one coming, especially to a mom like you, who is that person? What kind of start do they get in life? Right? We're talking about our next gen, our future leaders. And I think it's really exciting that as not only are we sharing our stories, but we're empowering each other to keep sharing, and don't keep the secrets. We don't need to keep the secrets. And we can let them out. And so I'm just so super excited. I think it's great.
Yes, it's a time of celebration when you get to share your story, and it continues each time you talk to someone about your story. So that's why we like to invite you here to do that. And yeah, I think we've had a nice chat, and yeah, this is such a good book for a book club. So Voices of the 21st Century Book.com. You can find the link to any of these authors who would be happy to come to your book clubs, and yeah, and take them up on it. Especially if you're in Australia, these women here are ready to serve you. So thank you for joining us. Any last parting words anyone, any author want to make to encourage us to
I think this has been a wonderful journey, and I thank you all as a team to put, to be able to present this to us. We are a sisterhood here, and we do help each other. And I'm sure that each and every one of us that are here today, that if there was something that was happening, we'd all be sharing it with one another. We all keep in touch. We all talk to each other, and we are regulars. So, we love each other. So we all work well together, and we are all going to be striving for the next book.
And we welcome more women in. We're not an exclusive club. We are a welcoming community that is open if you're looking for a sisterhood and people to help you reach your visions or stretch a little bit to go for your goals. And maybe you didn't even think you had a goal that you were going for. Just talk to Gail. And the way you can do that is go to voicesofthe21stcentury.com and fill out the form there. There's no obligation, but you will get an opportunity to talk to Gail. So if something struck a chord, there's a story in you, we want to make sure it gets told and your voice is heard, because you matter and your message matters. So thank you everyone for being here. Your message has already blessed so many people, and may it do so continuously. And we'll be back again. Bye.
Bye.